And this is part of my theory that, and maybe I will regret saying all of this, especially publicly, but like when you have two people that are just not fundamentally compatible, because I think in order to have a relationship or a marriage that really works, you need to be attracted to each other first and foremost, and you need to have personality compatibility. And the stronger your personalities are, the more intelligent you are, maybe, and the more like interested you are in like different things. I think creative people, especially, very unique people. They can be they can be super particular, and they're like puzzle pieces, if you want to think of it like that, can be extraordinarily complex and complicated. Or that maybe possibly, especially if they're smart. So, it's going to be harder for those people to find people that they feel really compatible with and that they want to marry and stay in a relationship, and that they're attracted to. They want to have kids. They want to make this like a lasting thing that lasts throughout their lives. It's hard. It's harder, right? And I think, my hair's all fucked up. If you want to if you want to get married and you're like that, it's really important that you find somebody that you feel compatible with. Otherwise, you're going to feel alone and it's just not going to work. You're always going to be fighting with this person all the time, especially if, like, you know, they don't feel fully compatible with you because you're just going to keep rejecting each other. And then what you have to do is just be like, all right, well, we got to part ways. This isn't working. Let's find people that work better for us. Maybe we could be friends or whatever. But like, I don't think like a relationship works for us. And maybe sometimes it's like things you're going through, but if you just don't like it, you don't like it. You can't do anything about that, I don't think. So it's sad to say, but I don't know. I feel like it's a lot of how it is. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But so like if you have people and they are incompatible in that way, they're always bickering, they're always fighting, you know, it could be more subtle and maybe, and it could be much more obvious. It's like you guys just like do not get along. Like, why are you dating? And I think a lot of people feel like guilt or like I can't break up with them. They're scared of the conflict. They start getting too involved with each other. You know, they're dating for too long. They get older. You know, and they just don't want to like leave because they're afraid of they can't find anybody else. Um, but the answer is correct, and it doesn't change. I don't think it just festers if you don't do anything about it. Maybe. But here's one of my theories: is that if people like that, where they really don't get along, where they're just not really meant for each other. Even if they do, they get along in some ways, but it's like, surface level. It's like a 20% get along, 80% I don't really like you that much, or whatever. Um, if those people have kids, um, then you're gonna see the same problem with those kids in the relationships with the parents, right? So in the same ways that your parents don't get along, you're not going to get along with your parents on either side, because you could have these like just personality differences that you get from both sides, and this could really fuck you up too, because like I think maybe that's kind of what happened to me. Like I had these like two opposing people in me all the time, and it was um, hard to reconcile. It's hard to do. Um, so, and there's a lot of shit out there. Like people think like maybe if you don't get along or something, then it's like a challenge. Like you're meant to be with that person. I don't know if that's true. It should feel good. And a lot of people, I think they get kind of caught up in pain. I think like, well, life is painful. And so this isn't supposed to be easy. And, not everything's going to be easy, but like, if you just like dread hanging out with your partner. I mean, what do you think you're doing? You're not doing the right thing. Imagine that you could be liberated from that. Would you feel happier? And if the answer is yes, then go do it. And I think like in a lot of cultures, like some cultures, there's a lot of shame in doing that, especially if you get married, especially if you have kids. Oh my gosh. And like that makes more sense, because it's like, well, you got to kind of like, you still have to care for the kids because that's your responsibility, I think. Um, you're the one that created them. They can't take care of themselves. Um, but like, I think there's like almost like this, like, oh, it's like you're giving up or something. And it's like, dude, like, you got to do what's right for you. You have to do that. And you have to do what's right for the other person as well. And they have to do what's right for them. And if you have this weird codependency going on where you're really not getting along, you know, you got to just be like, all right, bye. And it can be sad, it can be tough, and the other person might not want to leave, but like, if it's the right thing to do, you got to do the right thing. And if you keep missing on doing the right thing, eventually you'll lose like a good opportunity window to do the right thing, and then it just festers, man. It can get real bad, and you get intertwined with in the wrong things that are just not working for you. You're off your path. You got to get on your fucking path, and that's kind of your lot in life. That's what you got to do. Is you're gonna have a horse. You have a horse. You kind of have. Fuck. I hate talking, man. I talk way too fast for my mouth. Um, you kind of have a horse, and that horse is like will take you to your wildest dreams. I think it's something like that, and you feel it because it's like what you're attracted to, what you're interested in, what you like. And it's like, man, if I could be over there, that'd be fucking amazing. And a lot of people get caught up in a lot of bullshit. It's like, well, but I can't do that. I have to go do my work or something. It's like, what's your fucking work? What's your work? Like, you got to do housework all day. Like, that's a life for nobody. For nobody. It's a waste of time. Unless you feel like that's what you want to do. If you like doing that, maybe. Um, but even people like that, they want to take breaks sometimes, right? I don't know. But people think like, well, that's too good. It's too good to be true. It's too happy. And it's like, well, do you see other people over there? It's like, yeah. And it's like, well, what makes you think you can't be one of them? Well, I'm not good enough. It's like, well, become good enough. Or like, have you tried? Maybe you are. People are like, nah, I can't do that. It's like, okay, then suffer. Fucking suffer for your life. Miss the opportunity and die. Die unhappy. Because that's what will happen. No one's gonna save you. I think God will kind of put things in front of you. That happens. I feel like I've experienced that. Where just like serendipitously, this crazy shit happens, and you're like, oh my gosh, sorry God, I'm cursing, but like, I have like some kind of OCD. I don't know, I'm scared of doing wrong things, so I do stuff like that. I don't know what's going on, but it's that sort of thing where like you will experience stuff like that. I've experienced it, I feel, and it's like, wow, that's like perfect timing. That's crazy, super crazy. So I don't even know if I'm religious, but I probably appear like I'm fucking nuts doing shit like that or stuff like that. Whatever. Um, but and I think your job is to take those opportunities. It's like, okay, fine, all right, I will go do that. It's scary, but I'll do it. I'll talk to that person. There's a beautiful girl right there. I'll talk to her. I'll just try it. There's a job opportunity. Okay, fine. Maybe I'll apply for it. I'll try to take it. I have an idea for something. Let's try to make it. Let's upload it. Whatever. Talk to this person. Hey, I'm doing this thing. You want to come? Like, go. Just go. Stop thinking. I don't know. Go. Do it imperfectly. Show up with your like hair unshampooed or whatever the fuck. Just go. Um, 80% perfect maybe. If it's 20% imperfect, just fucking go. Depends on what the imperfection is. You know, stuff like marriage, having kids, like that's a big fucking deal. So like, be careful there. But like, if it's like you want to go to this party, there's like entertainers there, or like if you want to be a musician, there's like musicians there. You want to go, go. Don't be a fucking prick. And if they bully you, if they make fun of you, then fuck them. They're assholes. But like, at least you tried. Now you know. If you never went, then you never know what would have happened. I don't know. I think there's a big deal. There's a big problem with like if you have people and they're not getting along. They don't really gel fully, and they have kids. Then like those kids are gonna have problems with the parents that are like the same or similar as the problems that the parents have with each other. I think that happens or can happen. So yeah, and it's like it's awful because it's like you will experience these like jarring differences. Like if you have one parent, you might like kind of resonate with their habit of like just kind of going into their own world for a while and like working on something. You know, like studying art, like studying something, researching something, making art, whatever. And that requires like hours worth of uninterrupted focus. You do it for a while. And if you have another parent who like doesn't do stuff like that, they're not an artist. Maybe like what they do is that they really like to talk with people a lot, all the time. And you're not like that because like you have like a lot of the stuff that you're doing is in your head. You don't like to talk to people. You like to just focus on what's going on in your head and like make stuff, make something. You create something. You're gonna find this. It's like this is a jarring situation, and it's like I don't want to sit here and talk to you all the time. I don't, and that might make you feel really bad, especially if this is like a family member, like someone in your life, because it feels awful. You just feel like you're a really mean person. Um, but it's this fundamental incompatibility thing, like that kind of thing. I don't know. Like like imagine if you were dating, right? And you are this more introverted kind of person where you like making art. You like making art. You want to sit there and you want to like you know work on something for hours and shut everything else out. And this is like a wonderful thing if you're an artist because and if, you come out of it and you've made progress on an art piece like that's what it's like being an artist. That's what you do. It's like you spend a lot of your days in silence. I mean, depending on what kind of art you make. If you're an actor, maybe not, but like you focus. And I think if there's other people around you who don't do stuff like that, they don't do that. You know, maybe like the most they'll do is like focus on like cleaning or something. But a lot of what they do, it's like they don't really care about stuff like that. Like they want to like go out. They want to talk to people. They want to do something fun. Like for them. They want to go somewhere. They want to go to a party. They want to talk. They want to catch up on things. And if you're not like that, you're gonna hate that shit. Like I tried hard to do stuff like that. Every time I was doing that, I was like, I'm wasting my time. I gotta go home. I want to 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 go home. It's never ending. Like I gotta get the fuck out of here. This is not for me. I have an idea for a video game. I want to go and make it like, right now. Please let me go. Please. And you just feel so awful as a person. You feel horrible because it's like I guess like if it's people you don't know and you don't really care, I'm just okay. I'm gonna fucking leave. I don't care. Fuck them. Yeah, but if it's like a family member, you feel horrible because it's like you start to see it. It's like they're alone. They're lonely, and they just want someone to talk to. Like this is so fun for them. They're having a good time. Why aren't you having a good time? And you feel spoiled. You feel like an asshole. That kind of thing. And maybe to them, like you are an asshole. But if you're this kind of person who's like, you're not like that. You're not extroverted. You're not a social person. You don't want to talk about all this stuff. You feel like you're dying slowly by doing that. And you're like, I have an idea for like I want to hack Pokemon Fire Red. and like go make that like right now. I gotta go. That's your like divine desire calling, maybe. This is just shit I'm thinking about. It's like that's what you're meant to do, you know? Like you gotta go do that because you're getting a download, you're getting a calling, and it's like you gotta fucking create something. You gotta do it, and that could propel your life forward into an incredible place. And but this person is just kind of sad. It's like why don't you hang out with me? And it's like I still don't know what to say, and I feel horrible. Um, but I can see the pattern. And if I do that all the time, I lose myself and I lose the opportunity to do something great with my life that I want to do. And maybe a lot of people, like, they don't care about doing something great. They don't give a shit. The great thing that they want to do is develop connections, have a family. Yeah, they want to talk. They want to just experience life with people, with their family, be close and that kind of thing. That's it. Um, but my mind was always very thick, always, and I wanted to make stuff. I liked stories. I like getting lost in worlds. I like experiencing like movies and animations and video games and comics and like browsing the web and finding really cool websites and stuff like that. I loved that stuff. It's really hard for me to talk to people. It's very hard. Really difficult. Unless you're talking about that stuff, I can talk about that all day. But a lot of the stuff a lot of people like talking about, it's hard for me to talk about because I just don't care about it. And I feel like an asshole. Um, and it starts to feel like polite to just sort of like sit there and kind of force yourself to do it. Like, I don't know. I just sort of think like if you can help it, find somebody where like if you're just like I don't like talking. I like to just sort of like sit there and create stuff and work on things. And if I do talk, I like to talk about art. I like to talk about like latest like video games happening or like cool like technology things or whatever the fuck. And I like talking about like video games and because that's my thing. And if you meet someone and they're like, me too. That's what I like to do. That's what I do. And like yeah, and also like I would like to spend like long stretches of time not talking to anybody and like working on something and making a thing. And like me too, that's exactly what I do all the time. And then you might gel really well with that person. Um, where like and you're both maybe you're both like really talented and like here check out this thing that I made. Whoa, that's really cool. And then look at this thing I made and it's like whoa, that's really good. And you start to like you kind of gel with each other. Um, maybe that's really good. Like that's for you. And you work well together. And I think there is like the aspect of like I just had a viewer they dropped off. There's an aspect of like interpersonal skills, like being able to like talk to somebody well, that kind of thing, and like be like a pleasant person or whatever, and like you know be aware of like social mores and stuff, and but I think a lot of it is just like you got to just meet people that are compatible with you, because otherwise you're just not. It's going to be really hard for you to gel. Like I had trouble making friends unless I was in like amongst like computer nerds because a lot of those people they also like anime and games and stuff or like creative people um, and it's a specific type of creative person. It's like a nerdy creative person, not like um, almost like more like a histrionic creative person. I don't necessarily like that, like very dramatic. That's a little hard for me. But if like you're the kind of person who thinks about like a lot of like internal worlds and stories and stuff, and um, you get lost in like thinking about like Pokemon or something like that's more what I'm like. Um, and so I have to like find people like that, and it's been harder for me to find that. But and also because I feel like a lot of people like that, they're kind of awkward. I mean, I'm kind of awkward, but like it's just a little weird to talk to. Kind of make all these weird twitches or whatever the fuck. Um, I'm kind of awkward, but like it is hard because like a lot of the best looking people, like most attractive girls, they're not really like nerdy, you know. Some of them are, but like a lot of them are like, no, they like hip hop and shit, and then they fit right in with like the popular crowd and like whatever the fuck. So if you want girls like that, you feel like out of place and all that. I don't know. It was just a matter of like having your basic shit together, fitness, health, money, being able to take care of yourself, um, basic social skills, live where you want, going after your dreams, that kind of stuff, fixing problems, and then I could just go full in on like whatever your dreams are or whatever your dream is, you know. And you can also like try to like look cool, dress well, groom yourself well. Like I look crazy, but I kind of like looking nuts, to be honest. It's kind of fun. Um, and maybe that's just the key. And if she doesn't like that, then she's just not for you. There's something you can do about it. Um, but yeah, I feel like you really should be going after something like that. But I do think about like the topic of emotional incest, that idea, or like people are like inappropriately using you for like emotional support, whereas like they should be using like their husband or something, not you, because they're putting too much on you for like to like stimulate them, like emotionally, mentally, socially. Um, and if they're looking for like a partner, like their partner's right over there, it's their husband. Um, if they don't like talking to the husband, then they're not supposed to be together. And maybe for some women, you know, in like previous generations, it's like they didn't really think that that was an option. And it's like, well, I know I don't really like him that much. He's not ideal, but what am I gonna do? And it's like, well, you could have just not married him. You'd be like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And woe to the women who like if they're in situations where everyone around them would have gotten really pissed off if they said no. Um, but ultimately, it could be up to them. Maybe in the past, or maybe in certain cultures, it's like forced. But if they had the choice, they had the choice, right? But what's difficult is like I can't be your husband if I'm your son. I can't do that. Like I don't want to do that. He's over there. You gotta talk to him. And if you're having issues with him, you gotta work that out. And if you can't work it out, I don't know what to tell you. Go find somebody else. Um, I'd be happy because I don't think that relationships are supposed to be extraordinarily difficult. I don't think so. And people will say like, you have to work at it. Sometimes things aren't always easy. Like okay, because sometimes like you have like a flaw that you have to work through. You gotta fix that. But if it's like a fundamental like You know, like I'm like an artist and you don't like art that much, you know, or like intelligence differences. I don't know, maybe that's kind of fucked up, but um, these like different gaps where it's like you care very deeply about money. I don't care as much about money. I like money, I want money, but like if I had to choose between money and following my dreams, you know, I gotta follow my dreams, otherwise I will not be happy. And if you're the kind of person that's like, I don't care about stuff like that, I just want money. And it's like, what am I gonna do? Like you're like opposed to what I do. Um, but now I feel really bad because I still feel like I should just sit down and talk with this person at least once in a while. Like, how's it going? How are you? At the same time, when I do talk to them, they try to shame me and then they criticize me about something. And so it's like, I don't want to talk to you because I have learned that if I stick around for more than like 2 minutes and get into a conversation with you, you are going to criticize me about something that I don't want to talk to you about. And you think, well, I have to. I have to criticize. It's like, well, you don't. You know, maybe it's something I already know about. Well, what good is it if you talk to me about it over and over and over again? What is the point? You know, so like I feel fucking horrible, but like on the same token, if I try to be nice to you, you turn around and do some bullshit. So it's like you are pushing me away. And if you think like I should have like the maturity or whatever to just ignore you or something, it's like, well then you know, you can't have a proper relationship with somebody like that. Or it's like, you know, you take out like a needle and you stab me every like 3 minutes when I interact with you. It's like, oh, but keep talking to me. And it's like, no, stop stabbing me with a fucking needle. Knock it off. And if you're like, don't tell me what to do, and it's like, you have some of the worst social skills I've ever seen in the entire fucking planet. If that's how you are. Um, I'm talking about a relationship I have in my life. But it's like I don't want to talk to somebody if I'm getting abused or hurt, at least. You know, just knock it off. You know, I don't want to feel like talking to you is like a ticking time bomb. Like you're gonna hurt me, and I'm just waiting for when. And when you do, I'm gonna leave. You know, and you can think that that's weakness or something, but it's like when I talk to you, and if you're like a broken record, I don't have to explain myself to you. And like even if like there's something going on where like I explain to you my situation and you keep bringing it up anyway, like what good do you think that's gonna do? You feel like you have to keep laying it on to make me feel really bad, feel bad, feel bad, feel bad, and then you'll do something that I want you to do or something. That's not how I work. It just pisses me off because it's like I need to go after what I want to go after anyway. And if anything, you know, you're my family member. You should like be trying to help me do that as quickly as possible. If you really cared. There's a lot of people who say that with the like people don't owe you anything. Some people do. Some people do. Especially if you won't apologize for things. What am I gonna do? And you have apologized, but like I don't really feel like you mean it. You haven't really changed. You know, you will not stop to make me feel really bad about something and to try to make me feel small and make me put my tail between my legs. But you know, you completely resist that yourself. Like, I'm not gonna feel bad for anything. This is like, okay, well, what is this? An unequal relationship? And if you think like, yeah, that's how it should be, it's like, well, I don't think that's how it should be because that makes me feel like shit. Makes me feel awful. And sometimes you should feel awful about things. I've done things that I feel awful about before. Other times you shouldn't, because there's nothing you can do. You're trying your hardest, right? Or you're figuring it out. And some people have no patience. They don't support like with parents, right? Cats out of the bag. That's what I'm talking about. If you, I mean, I guess you could just put it together. Anyway, um, with parents, if they're like they are continuously not supporting what you want to do with your life, you're going to. I think like you keep getting put back in that situation anyway. And the thing that has to change is that it's like, well, your kid's gonna do it whether you like it or not. So it's not about like, your kid has to change. It's like, no, you have to change. That's your challenge. And if you don't, they're gonna do what they want to do. And once they get there, they're gonna cut you out of their lives. Even if they like you try to talk, it's like there's just going to be this rift. It's just gonna be there because it's like you cannot have a relationship with somebody if they're just like every time you talk to them, like with a dog, for example, you can't have like a kind, loving relationship with a dog if every time you try to pet it, it snarls at you and tries to bite you. You can't do that. You just cannot. And and it's like, no, you don't understand. You're scaring me. It's like, no, you're scaring me. Do you understand? Because my behavior is very normal. You're the one who's dysregulated. It's you. It's you. The dog that bites every single hand that comes out to try to pet it, right? And you can say, well, dogs don't necessarily understand that. It's like, okay, well, you're a human. You can figure that out. You can do metacognition. You can analyze your behavior and you can experiment. You can try different things. You can change things. You can think about it. You can offer an apology. You can try a different approach. And if you don't do that, it's like, man, you're like on the same level as a dog who, yeah, maybe they got abused once or twice or for, you know, an unfortunately long period of time. And so, yeah, they think it's like every time there's a human hand that reaches out, it's gonna hit the dog. It's like, fuck you. I'm not gonna let you hurt me again. Fuck off. I hate humans. Go away. It's very logical instinct. Sure. It's simple though, because it's not always accurate. But the interesting thing that we can do as humans is that we can analyze things. We have that instinct within us because we're all animals, and it's a very simple instinct that can keep us alive if we're like like in a pinch. Sure, like trust that gut instinct and just run, or attack, like whatever you got to do to survive. But in different situations, we can sort of think about it and we could be like, okay, well, is my behavior appropriate here? Because like if you have someone who is like trying to be kind to you and they're trying to like they leave you food and they care for you and that kind of stuff, and they want to be nice, they want to play with you, that kind of thing, and every single time you're just biting them, or trying to bite them, then like what you see is that like you're the one who's in the wrong because they were trying to be nice. And I don't know, that happened to me, I think, because I'd always get bullied, so I became the dog that would bite people because that's what I was taught. Like if you look a certain way, you're gonna be an asshole. If you look like sporty or like good looking, you're probably a fucking dick. That's what I would think because that's what I experienced. Um, and so I was very sensitive to people, like if they were fucking dicks or not. They seemed like a dick. I was like, I don't want to talk to you. Fuck off. I just instinctively bite. Fuck off. And people don't know how to react to that. Like they think it's like funny or something. It's like it's not. I was traumatized. Um, but I was also a kid, so fuck you, kids who are fucking assholes to me. Eat shit, suck a dick. I hope you're fucking fat and miserable now. Or at the very least, I don't know. You could say, try to be kind. At the very least, you owe me an apology. Fuck off. Um, but if you are like an adult woman and you've been on this earth for like multiple decades, you know, that's something that you should be able to get control over yourself, like your behavior, and really analyze and think like, well, am I doing something wrong? And if you still have trouble with that when you're like in your 50s, 60s, 70s, like um, that's really bad. It's very bad, and you're way behind where you should be. And maybe some people are just not good at this stuff. They're just not, like, because they don't understand it. It's hard for them. But I don't know. I mean, like, I've done a lot of hard things, and at the very least, like, at the very least, what I've noticed with difficult things, if you can't figure them out right away, is to just push yourself one little bit at a time, every single day, all the time. Like, try to get better every day, all the fucking time, um, at least a little bit. And then by the time you're like 70, if you've been doing this, you should have changed a little bit at least. Got a little bit better at it. And if you're having trouble, you can talk to people, read books, take a course, see someone, talk to your friends, talk to family. How do you react when this happens? Like, reflect, self-reflect, write, talk out loud to yourself. Like, I'm doing this shit now. Um, Try to make sense of something. Try to figure some way forward, like a new way of doing anything. Try it out. See what happens. And I think that's what everybody should be doing all the time, from as young as possible until they die. Like, don't just stay the same, especially if like you keep running into the same problems over and over. Um, and yeah, like I've noticed problems in my life, and I'm making realizations and like habits that I have for like doing creative things and trying to fix them now. But I'm always trying to do that. I've been trying to do that for years. Figure out how to improve something. But if you're not doing that, I mean, like people are just gonna go past you, and they're gonna get better while you're gonna stay the same, and they're just people are gonna get more and more frustrated with you because you'll just be like, I am so far ahead. Why haven't you changed at all? You are the same. What's wrong with you? You think that's just your personality? Fix it, because it sucks. Like, your personality sucks ass, okay? Your personality is like the kind of art you like. you know, your personality is not, I don't apologize ever. You know, that's like temperament, but like that's an issue that you need to fix. Okay? Fix it. Um, oh, that's just how I am. It's like, well, yeah, well, just how you are is an asshole. Like, you suck. You fucking suck. And, no excuse to be like that when you're like fucking 70. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Absolutely not. But I still feel bad. I still feel bad. Because especially like you see, like it's one thing if you're like a kid, um, and your parents like in their 50s or something. It's like I gotta get the fuck out of here. I gotta go live my life. I want to go like to live in the city or something and like just make my own way and discover who I am and like, stop like dealing with this bullshit. And you do, and you have a great fucking time, and you really do grow. Um, but eventually you will feel bad, and eventually you'll want to try to reconnect again. Um, but yeah, it's hard when they're old, because it's like you could die soon, and it's like we're still having the same fucking arguments, aren't we? It's the same one, same things, and it's like why What are you doing? And you could say, well, maybe it's me. You know, I've done so much work on myself. I've thought about this shit so much, and like I will talk to other people, and they'll be like, you know, it sounds like there's something wrong with that other person. Maybe it's not you, it's them. And it's like, yeah, I thought it was something wrong with me for the longest time. And you know, beyond just being a kid, you know, because yeah, kids will have imperfect actions and habits and stuff, but like to like hold that kid to like an adult standards. It's like you're like a 50-year-old man, like grow the fuck up. And it's like I'm like 8. You know, like you should be a lot more patient. And I was very intelligent as a kid, sure, but like, you know, at the same time, like you shouldn't get obsequious is not the right word. I said that like once because it sounds like I know that obsequious is not. Yeah, that means obedient or attentive to an excessive or servile degree. Um, I was gonna say obsequiously mad at me. No, it's not the right use of that word. I just think it's kind of funny. Oh, but like extraordinarily, maybe simpler. Mad at me. If you're just extraordinarily mad at me, because like I tell you that I want to become an artist when I'm 12, you know, like which I still want to do, by the way, which is it's just a valid career path. And it's been one of the best times to be an artist in history in the past 10, 15 years. So, and I cannot believe that I was deterred away from that. Even though I was doing it on the side, I did the fucking computer stuff for money. But like, you know, artists make money. They made money, right? Um, you can make money drawing porn on social media. You know, it was one of the best times to be an artist in history the past like 15 years or so, I think. Like if you're a YouTuber and stuff, like holy shit, dude. You could just make money talking about bullshit like this on YouTube. Um, but uh, yeah, like I don't know, like just like don't be a weird dick. You know, like don't have these strong convictions that aren't based off of research or understanding. That they're just like you know your weird intuitions that are 50 years out of date. Don't do that. Okay? Don't be an asshole to your kid. Don't shame people. You know, look at yourself in the mirror sometimes. Not just to admire how pretty you are. Like, you know, like also like think like, what did I do wrong today? Did I do anything wrong? What could I have done better? You know, what did I do well? What did I do badly on? That kind of thing. Um, do not think that you are above that. Nobody is. At least I don't think. Um, and the people that seem perfect and really great, you know, I would not be surprised if they're doing that all the time. They're constantly trying to self-reflect and improve. Um, but you know, to think that you're above that, this is not what narcissism is. Think you're perfect. So I don't know. I think like you start to notice that there are issues when like you have changed so much and done so many things and grown so much, yet you still have the same fight with this person all the time. Then it's like, all right, well, maybe there's something wrong with them. There's something going on there. Like you need to fucking change. But the real heartbreaking thing is like you see this person get older and older and older, and they're just like, no, 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 and they're just like they don't change at all. They just don't. And it's like, man, you're like my parent. Like you're getting older by the minute, and like man, you could die soon. Can't we like have some sort of relationship? And then they turn around on you. It's like, yeah, well, I want to, but you won't. And it's like, you're fucking crazy. Like you are delusional. Like totally off your fucking rock. If you're just you're that far gone. Like I got so far away from you, literally lived on the other side of the earth, and did all of this shit, grew a billion times as a person, and you're still saying shit like this. Like, when the fuck are you going to acknowledge reality? Like, what is the chronology of events in your head? You just have a big black hole where certain things happen, you just don't think about them? That is nuts. I started to build a chronology in my head of my life, trying to look at it from as early as I can and like a timeline. Like this happened here and then now I'm here. Don't suppress memories. Don't avoid them. It's a bad thing. Don't forget anything. It's all information. And I don't know. Maybe I'm an outlier. Like I do crazy shit like that, where I really try to think about this stuff. And a lot of people they often stay stuck because a lot of it's very uncomfortable. I don't want to think about it anymore. Like that kind of thing. And they're just like, I'm just gonna like focus on working or whatever. But like, man, you gotta talk about stuff, man. Gotta fucking do it, and not in like, yeah, well, yeah, you did this thing, like not in this like shaming another person. Like look at yourself. How do you feel about something? You think you're perfect, and they'll just say, oh, like, I know I'm not perfect. Like that's like an expression that's just something that you say to that you're supposed to say. Do you really believe that? Like, do you really understand what that phrase means? Do you really get it? Do you? Do you? Whatever. If you make mistakes, you have to acknowledge them. It's very deeply uncomfortable, and that could depend on what kind of person you are. You just don't want to feel that. And, maybe for some people, like, they'll use that against you. So you sort of like train to not ever apologize because, like, you can't. Because if you do, they'll use that as an excuse to like sink their teeth in you. Because it's like you will show your weak spot because that's what happens, I guess, right? I don't know. And they'll use that to take a mile from you, but it's not good. One second. Hey, sorry. Um, forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, just the thing that I keep thinking about, it's hard. You just have to keep going after what you want. Don't get too caught up in this shit. Because if you're not careful, you'll realize that these people waste your fucking life arguing with them. And it's almost like that's what they want because they just want to talk to you. And it's like, if you just wanted to talk to me, be nice, be a reasonable person. That's it. Then I would have wanted to talk to you. Stop trying to stop me from doing what I want to do because you think I'm going to leave you forever. That makes me want to leave you forever. You have to let me go do things, and then I can come back. And no one's a caged animal, not even your kids. Because your kids aren't even yours. They are not. Like you agree to take care of them for a while and to show them how to take care of themselves. That's your job as a parent. You help them become full humans. Why? Hopefully, so that they can enjoy their lives. That's the closest I've come to like what the meaning of life is to enjoy it as much as you can. Have a good fucking time. That's the whole point. It's not some sort of like painful purpose. It's just you just enjoy your life. Have fun, have a good time, and as much as you can. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's like sex, drugs, and eating junk food all day. Like no, it's just do what you want to do, because that stuff becomes not so pleasurable over time. You realize you only want that sometimes as a reward or something, but you got other goals. You want to become a great something, great artist, an amazing athlete. You want to make history. Be some sort of revolutionary. It's fucking awesome. Go do that. What's the point? Because it's fun. It feels good. That's it. And you're like, well, that's stupid. It's like, well, you're stupid because you're missing the entire point, the whole thing. You're missing it. And if you think someone's going to come out of the woodwork and like turn your fucking head to look at the thing you're supposed to be looking at, you know, that person's there and it's inside of you and it's telling you all the fucking time what you're doing is wrong. Stop it. Do what you need to do. And if you don't listen, I'll tell you this from experience, that voice will start to leave you. It's hell trying to get it back. Fucking hell. It's your punishment for being an idiot, being stupid. Listening to the voice that's like trying to guide you towards your wildest dreams. Don't do that. So I felt like that's what happened to me. I missed a really big opportunity that could have done something really cool with my life, and I kept ignoring it because I thought like I was upset, I was in pain, and I thought God would notice. Something would happen. And I don't know, the signal was like, obviously you know what you have to do, go do it. Do it, do it, do it. And I think it every day. I want to go do this. It's like, no, I have to do this first. To do this other thing first. I have to make money first. I have to do this first. No, I didn't. Didn't need to do that. I didn't think so. I should have just done the thing that I wanted to do. Now I feel like that the opportunity is kind of passed, which is really sad. It was a really awful thing. But like, I don't know. Maybe I could still do it, but I don't want to miss another opportunity. Doing something that I really like to do. So we'll see. And I don't want to hurt people in my life anymore that I love anymore. Feels weird to say. People really piss me off. They really piss me off. I'm just trying to not have any regrets. Anyway, do what you want to do. Don't let assholes get in your way, even if they're your fucking family. And you know what the right thing is. You know what you want to do. Other people really might not like it. They might make fun of you. You might fail for like a few years. But you know what you want to do. Um, it's your wildest dream or dreams. You see all the cool stuff, other people doing it. Go join them. Go try. They might make fun of you too, but you might realize that the people that you really look up to, like they might actually be really welcoming. They might actually be really nice. They might actually be really helpful, and they might actually be like, "Do you want to join us? Like right now? We're gonna go do a thing. You want to come?" And it's as simple as that. Or it could be really fucking difficult. Stuff like that happens too. It's like it's just, but the thing you have to orient yourself towards is just what you want to do. Just keep going. You find that star in the sky and just keep fucking rowing your boat towards it. That's it. That's all you can do. And even if you reach that island, you might realize that the star is actually still over there. You just gotta keep going. I would imagine. That's it. I gotta go.